which are all of the people in this room.
Like 1 round of combat and we're killed.
Stuff happened, okay?
Nuali used the monologue action, which I didn't know existed, so that's really nice to have that canonized.
She said some stuff in that monologue.
Threatened Sabine in some very graphic and unpleasant ways, which pissed Shay right off. And so Shay stabbed her.
Shay impaled her own sister.
And almost killed her.
Some sibling bonding.
Alright. And then we had something happen after the combat.
As she was passing out, she told Gris to burn everybody. And so Sola was like, nah, fuck that. Fucking tackled Mez and Kokoro out of the way as Holly tackled Augustiana out of the way. But then, because Gris is a simp, she showed up and just essentially lighted Ismark's cigarette and was like, yeah, that works for burn.
Yep, that's correct.
Because she's a simp.
Look, it's not just because she's a simp. It's a significant percentage.
I mean, considering the fact that literally directly before that she said something along the lines of, like, you're lucky I like you.
We are leaving out that she's tremendously spiteful.
She's extremely spiteful.
She was stuck in a contract with this woman.
Yes, we do also have Nualia's journal entries available if you guys read that. Just full of lots of lovely and fun revelations.
Oh yeah, we have the revelation that Sabine saw Nualia kill their dad and has just, conveniently decided not to tell Shay that for fucking years.
She's in denial, alright?
Understandable.
Point of clarification here, Sabine did not see Nualia kill Tobin. She saw her arguing with Tobin.
I thought the implication was death in what Matt said.
That was what she was putting together since she had heard Gris mention that in particular.
Yeah, Gris said patricide.
Yeah. So she was just like, oh, that's what that was.
She did not witness the murder outright. Simply the lead up to it. So, as we rejoin our party in the bowels of the Thistletop dungeon, an ancient fortress of some kind, which has thus far been decorated with many murals related to the Runelord of Greed, and to his city, the lost flying city of Shinjalast. We have a bit of a situation. Nualia is laying bleeding on the ground, with Shay positioned over her, as far as I recall, Sabine not too far off, and Augustiana right next to them. Toward the back, we have our backline casters, Sola, Kokoro, and a blindfolded Suto, also deafened Suto, who, as this is all going down, as he feels people next to him, starts to shift. And Sola, as you dive in that direction, he's not sure exactly what he's reaching for, but his hand lands on your shoulder. What's going on?
Sola just kind of, if it's just like the blind, like what's going on, like not threatening in any way, she'll wait for a second, and I imagine hear voices from down the hall in the other room, realize that they are not about to get blown to bits,
and
will just like sit up a little bit straighter, like very quickly, like move off of and away from Mez and just like pat his hand. She's not engaging in anything as of yet. She doesn't know what's going on.
That's valid. He, as you touch his hand, he starts turning around and keeps reaching out. What's going on? Is she? Piper, are you there? Piper.
Piper, I cannot hear you.
Hello?
Hello?
There we go.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah. I thought he was talking to Sola, or that he
He's talking
put his
broadly.
hand.
Yeah,
Okay.
he touched Sola because Sola, when he was just reaching out, was the first person he made contact with. But he's still blinded and still deafened, so he has no idea what's going on.
Okay. Kokoro will just like hold on to his hand and just squeeze it softly.
As you do this, Coco, you can see his chest starting to rise and fall. And Suto has always had a very steady way about him. There was something that always seemed unflappable about your older brother, where he seemed to take everything in stride when he was younger, even the terrible things, and always seemed to have a joke ready for the occasion as well. But as the nervousness comes over him, the breathing that you see is hurried and shallow, and he continues trying to look around.
I just, massage his hand gently, trying to calm him down a little bit.
Why don't you go ahead and make me a diplomacy check?
One day I'll get that as a class skill.
It's insane that it's not a class skill for you, honestly.
I completely agree with you.
With the 20, you're able to get him to calm down enough with the way that you're holding his hand and some of the gestures that you've shared together over your many years. And his breathing starts to steady again. If anything happens to her, he says. But he can't seem to bring himself to finish.
She just gives him a hug.
He hugs back.
Hug.
And far from the comforting, familiar, solid hug that you're used to from him, he's clinging to you like you're a piece of driftwood in a storm.
I just like motion over to the others to go check on what's going on. Keep him here.
Sola, are you going to go check in on the others?
Yes. I mean, Sola has like, Mez. Iris is not here for Mez to be reacting very much, but she would like check over Mez first, and then kind of slowly move out here, and will reach over and help Holly pull Augustiana to her feet before reaching out to Sabille and kind of turning Sabille to her so she can see the damage done.
It's a lot of damage.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And we're gonna start taking care of that. Can use my new thing. Just kind of. So you see her like reaching into her one of the pouches on her belt and starting to try and pull out some soothing ointments and such, because I know there was like description of unpleasant blistering and burning happening. But give you first off fast healing 2 with balm, which will last for 7 rounds. That's 14 healing
Right.
off the bat.
That puts me pretty close to max.
Okay. If you feel comfortable with where you're at that moment, we'll use that as your healing for the moment.
Yeah, that's good with me.
All the wounds starting to stitch together as she's trying to make it as comfortable as possible. Kind of looking around like, everybody's kind of fucked, huh?
Everybody's kind of fucked. Although, Augustiana, you didn't take any damage, did you? Except spiritual damage.
I took like almost half my health at one point.
All right.
Panel
I think from
negative.
a failed save, maybe.
Likewise,
Yeah.
I'm at 10 HP.
You guys are nice and softened up.
Yeah, we're gonna have to take a moment here of anybody that wants healing is gonna have to come to Sola, because there's a lot of you fuckers, and all of her healing is based on touch.
Doc, I'm bleeding. Doc.
Line up, everyone.
Right. So, Sola, as you're doing this, do you look down the hall at the random devil woman who just showed up? This 9-foot tall, covered in horns and contracts, bad bitch in the other room?
I imagine she has seen her and is smart enough to have put 2 and 2 together. Knows who it is, and so it's like, yeah, okay, this is gonna be a whole thing again. And is just more focused on keeping her friends on their feet than addressing
Alright.
Griss.
There is somebody here who might address the 9-foot tall devil in the room. Shay, you are, with one arm, I imagine, cradling your dying sister, who is even now bleeding out onto your hands and your lap. Her breath weak, shallow, rattling. And perhaps most disturbingly of all, the blood that streams from her shoulder wounds and her chest wounds is bright red, but the blood that streams from the demon arm that's taken over the left side of her body is green. And not the bright, verdant green of a field or of a particularly wealthy woman's gown, or the glittering green of emeralds, or even the beautiful green that you see on the sea at times. This is the sickly green, the pale green that creeps beneath the skin, heralding an infection. And if that wasn't bad enough, you have the sinking feeling you know who that woman is. What do you do?
I could probably write an essay on the amount of emotions that are going through Shay at the moment.
I think we would love to hear that essay.
It's not well written.
It's a lot of fuck.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of that. It's a lot of why the fuck and how the fuck and are you fucking kidding me? I imagine Shay is just, while she's like, I don't know, cradling Nualia, she's also just got like pressure on the wound to just stop the bleeding like as much as she can. I imagine that when this devil woman appeared, she was like, not another fucking devil. And that's why she threatened her right off the bat. And once Gris spoke, and little slide of Ismark's cigarette, I think that's what clued Shay in of like, oh, this is Gris. She'll unpack that later. Right now, she's gonna focus on Nualia, and the more that she puts pressure and trying,
Mm?
my roll 20 is having a seizure.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I'm gonna go ahead and reload real quick. I imagine that she is very angry, and she is very angry at Nualia that she is holding and cradling and trying her damnedest to save and not have bleed out on her.
Shay, we gotta ask Sola. I know she
Sola's
doesn't wanna.
Sola's not gonna heal her.
I can twist her arm.
Excuse me.
But no, I imagine that Shay is just talking to the unconscious, bleeding out Nualia. And she's kind of shaking. As. Sorry, give me 1 second. It's. Hello?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, sorry, my mic stopped working. It's got great timing.
Very dramatic.
Yeah, right? I'm just gonna go ahead and rewind all that shit. I'm assuming you heard nothing.
We heard
No.
nothing.
Depends on when you stopped.
Mm-hmm. But Sailor, not Jesus Christ, everything. Go away. Why is every?
Taylor, these aren't your nachos.
Kids, you want the nachos? You want to play tug? Not now.
We're tugging at heartstrings, Sailor.
I'm trying to. Jesus, go bother Joe.
So she's
Jesus.
angry at Nualia, and
Yes,
she's
thank you.
pressing down on the wound. But the
Mhm.
problem is that, Shay, there are so many wounds. There's
Mhm.
the one that you dealt her, which is toward the center, right beneath the sternum. But there's also the blow that Ismark dealt her in the shoulder, all of the various cuts running along the side of her arm, the demon arm, the misshapen thing that is encroached upon the sister you knew so well.
So if it's all right, Amy, Seville can offer a single potion of cure light wounds. It's something.
No.
Really.
If we heal her, she's gonna fight us again.
Just, stop the bleeding a little. I can choke her back out.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Shay is just going on a fucking monologue at her sister. And roll 20 is not loading for me, but you know what? Whatever. I imagine it's pretty loud. I imagine it carries, and there are loud bits that the others down the hallway can pick up. And it's Shay just talking to Newt as if she can hear her. And it starts off with a very, very loud and just like, are you fucking kidding me? She holds on to the fucking wound, just trying to save her, and she's just so angry, and she's just going off left and right about like, you could have talked to us. You could have talked to anyone, but no, you just fucking ran. How are we supposed to help you if you just trying to hold more pressure, and it's not working because there's so many wounds. This was your solution, huh? Just do this to yourself? Really? Holding on to the fucking demon arm as it's leaking green, icky, yucky blood. Imagine she starts like breathing heavily, and I imagine Shay looks towards where the fucking demon bitch is. Sorry, not demon, devil. My apologies.
She'd be very offended if you made that mistake.
Right, of course. And she's just kind of very close to hyperventilating as she sees that her kind of options are kind of closing in. She's got no time. And she just looks to Nualia in her arms and probably looks up to where like Sabile's being healed by Sola and then looks back down. I'm gonna fix this. I've gotta. It's what I need to do. It's what's best for you. And she's gonna pull out a little box in her pocket. And she's gonna pull out a little ring. Yeah, Saley doesn't like that, apparently.
Sailor hates devils.
Right. So does Shay.
I mean,
Yeah, that in
clearly
common.
not.
And she's gonna close her eyes and just 1, 2, 3, as if she's gotta really like build up to it, put the ring on.
Now, Shay, throughout your monologue, your sister didn't say anything. She couldn't possibly. She's too far gone, both mentally and physically, as with every syllable that you shout in her direction, the only reply you seem to get is another rattling breath. Is it you, or did you think that you heard her laughing in one of those rattling breaths? Was it just the Nualia that you've seen, or was it something else? It's hard to say. But what is certain is that the second that you put on that ring, a ripple of sparkling magenta light rolls over you, consuming you. And as it does, it starts to spread like ink in water throughout the entirety of the dungeon. This mysterious light. Hello. This mysterious light, which is just emanating from you. You feel a slight burning sensation. Your heart starts to race. Something within you twists and changes, but you're not sure what. One moment you feel as if you've just walked into a meadow in the middle of spring, as if you can smell the flowers, as if everything for one magic moment makes sense to you. But just as you've gotten used to that feeling, there's burning that seems to overtake it and consume the memory at the edges. So it becomes something else, this need to possess, to take. That rolls over you, and soon you're left with another sensation, this misery, this guilt and shame of my sister's here dying, and I had no idea she was struggling like this. All of the times that you had spent together, all of the practices, all come rushing over you all at once. The way that she would pat your head, or the way that she would tell you stories about the adventures that she had gone on, and all of the things that she had learned. The way that her eyes would light up as she talked about life outside of Sandpoint, even if that meant that she was just staying in a bedroll, getting rained on the whole night through. It was the happiest you'd ever seen her when she discussed these things. And just for a second, you see that Nualia overlaid onto the woman that's beneath you. as the violet light consumes her, you see that she starts to change. Her features soften, and although she's still horribly wounded, the arm that is just such an aberration, as the light creeps up, it seems to erase all of the demonic chitin that has covered it. You're left with a bare, uncovered, unarmored arm, and a girl who seems a little small for the wretched black armor that she's got on. Toward the back of the hallway, where Suto blindly reaches out for help as he embraces his sister, Kokoro, for a second there, you feel him shrink. He's always been taller than you, but as you're hugging, he seems to be at your height, and your arms close as he loses the muscle mass that he's built up over the years. Something is happening within the bowels of Thistletop. Something that's changing quite a few things. Can everybody roll me a will save, please? Also, hi, Joe.
Hi.
Oh. Oh. It's probably not enough. That's a nat 20.
Yike.
I got 20. That's
Nat
surely
20.
very good.
Is that nat 20, Piper?
Yeah.
No, just it's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right. And Sola's a nat 20?
Nat 20, so a total of 27.
All right. Joe, you're just in time to have Ismark roll his own save.
I clicked the will save button, and
Oh,
Now
no.
it's not looking good for Ismark.
It's not looking good for Ismark, is it?
It won't save.
Yeah. Okay, Augie, we got a nice 7. Matt, what have we got for Sab?
28.
28. All right.
If
So
I
it's
need
not.
to use a hero point, tell me.
I would say it's up to you whether you use a hero point here. This is an important plot point if you want to try and re-roll it.
But do I need to? Like, what am I aiming for?
The number that you are looking to hit is a 23.
I'm rolling.
All right, go for it.
I'm gonna use my hero point. I have 4 of them now.
You can only hold 3 at a maximum. So
I can
if
only
you did not use it, then you're down to 3.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
No, it's okay. That's what I'm here for.
And then there's, I don't know if
21.
Iris rolled separately or not.
Okay, good thing I have another hero point.
Oh my god.
Oh
Good
my
thing I
god.
have another hero point.
Piper.
Oh my god,
Piper.
Piper, I'll
Piper.
stop you right there. You only need to spend the 1. You only need to spend the 1 on this.
I thought I needed a 23.
You do. But this is above table here. This is the save versus memory alteration that was brought up earlier during the Gris and Shay scene. So if you really want Coco to remember, then I guess you can spend your last hero point on it. But I will remind you that Shay did get clearance to tell you that this was going on. So you don't have to spend all that if you don't want.
Then I will not spend it.
I feel like you still need to spend the 1. But the other 2
Yeah.
you saved.
Yes, the other 2 I will not count against you.
So you're at 2 hero points.
Yeah.
Because
you're
you
at 2
also
hero
have to
points.
remember that it takes 2 hero points to not die.
Fair enough.
All right. So, those of you who failed this save, who rolled below a 23, Let me see here. Did Iris give me consent to roll for her? She did not, so I won't. She can roll her own save. Yeah, she can roll her own save.
Kokoro and Ismark and Augustiana currently.
Yes, Kokoro, Ismark, Augustiana. As this light spreads out and rolls over you, you're filled with not unpleasant sensations. They're actually quite warm. Ismark, for a minute there, as you're sitting slightly scorched with the lit cigarette that this devil woman seems to have lit for you, something reminds you of your wife. As it recalls to you a time when the two of you were in Magnamar and she had bullied you a little bit about smoking. She hadn't outright asked you to stop, but she had pointed out that it did shorten your lifespan and she wanted to get as much time as she could with you. And even having said that, she said that she was curious. She'd never known exactly how those cigarettes tasted. And you lent her your cigarette, and despite being a giant half-orc, jacked out of her mind, Ginny had taken one puff and started coughing. It was toward the start of your relationship, but it's a pleasant memory, and it's one that seems to overtake a lot of things for you in that moment. And once it's gone, something just feels, well, how did you get into this room again? You were fighting someone, weren't you? Who are you fighting, though? And as you look around, you can't seem to figure it out because on the ground is the woman that you came here to save, Nualia. Augustiana, it's a similar situation for you where as this wave of pink light rolls over you, you're overtaken with memories of people who have been close to you. And the police sirens. Goddamn sirens. Oh, very eventful night tonight.
It's your turn. It was my turn earlier. Now it's your turn.
I know, right? Augustiana, could you tell us a bit about what Augustiana loves?
In what sense?
That could be any kind of love.
I mean, she does have a penchant for material things. So she loves like nice wine, soft silks. She also really loves her friends.
So, Augustiana, as this wave of light rolls over you, what you see isn't quite a memory. Or at least you're not sure if it is. There's this mental image you're overtaken with all of a sudden of you and the other Sandys, but you're back in Alkenstar. And in your extremely lavish living quarters, you're showing everybody around the luxury that you live in, as your friends have come all this way just to see you. And you're all lounging around on these silk divans. And you can feel in your hand the bubbles of this bottle of champagne that you're shaking. You can hear the pop of the cork as it goes off and smell the grapes in the air. And it passes. Then you too are left wondering, wait, what was I? Oh, right. We were here to save Shay's big sister. And you see her there in front of you. Coco is our other failed save, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Piper, what does love look like to Kokoro? What is her happiest memory of love?
Happiest memory, probably sharing a meal with her siblings, talking about random shit.
This meal that you remember isn't a formal family meal. Those were always difficult given the insistence of your father and certain old fashioned traditions of his. But instead, the meal that comes to mind for you is one that you shared with Ameko and Suto and your mother. It's one of the last meals you recall having with her. It's the middle of the night, and you had come downstairs hungry, and it just so happened that both of your siblings were also looking for food too. And as the two of you were chowing down on some kind of cold but still pretty good dumplings, your mother also came downstairs, having been unable to sleep herself. And so the four of you sat up, sharing stories for the better part of the evening. And although initially you were worried that there would be some sort of punishment for being up outside your bedtime, your mother seemed delighted for the company. The memory passes, and once again, you're thinking, wait, what was I doing here again? Oh, right. Tsuto. Wasn't he missing? And then you see him before you. It's not quite the Tsuto that everyone's used to seeing, though. Move this here, do a little switcheroo. Instead, it's Tsuto as he had been in that memory. Younger, longer haired, still in the awkward phase of his life. No older than 15 or so, his voice with a tendency to crack when he speaks. And Augustiana, Sabine, Ismark, Shay, the Nualia that you see before you isn't the Nualia that you just spent all that time fighting. It's a younger Nualia, one who hadn't quite yet embarked on the path of misery that she had no idea still awaited her. A young paladin, lost and trapped, but not unhappy entirely. Not yet. Of course, those of you who passed the save, although these memories seem to well up for you, they can't quite summon up any of the same imagery. It's more just this feeling of lightness and warmth that doesn't seem to reach you for one reason or another. And those of you who passed the save remember why you were actually here. To stop the raid on Sandpoint, led by Nualia and Suto. A different Nualia than the one that's laying there in Shay's arms.
So Pseudo's still in like the blindness, deafness equipment,
Yes,
right?
he's still
I'm gonna get that
blindfolded.
shit off of him.
You get that off of him, and he looks at you, Coco, and he's a little out of it, still standing there, but just off balance. And the gear that he's wearing seems a little big for him. Sis? What's going on?
Coca?
Coco? Snake? Snake!
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, don't worry. We're gonna get you out of here, okay?
How long have I been here?
We're not sure exactly, but don't worry. We'll get you home. We got your friend here too.
My friend?
Yeah. Don't worry. Just hang on to Big Sis. We'll get you out.
He wraps a very woozy arm around your shoulder. He's a good, 3 inches shorter than you right now.
She's gonna call it. Okay, I got Pseudo. Do you guys got her? Let's get out of here.
Hugh, frantic, pulling out bandages. Please, don't let her fucking die after all of this.
Now can Seville give her a potion?
Please. Please.
Alright, Steele's gonna kneel down next to Shay and uncork a little teal-colored potion, lift up Nualia's head, and try to coax it down her lips.
All right. Go ahead and roll healing for me.
This is a big
1d8 plus 1.
it's pretty light ones, isn't it? 1d4? Or it's 1d... Oh, it's 1d8 in Pathfinder.
It's
man.
d8 in Pathfinder,
You guys are
d4 in 3.5 in the Dark Ages.
9.
9 is actually pretty solid.
So-
With the 9, she's still out, but she's at least not bleeding anymore, and she doesn't seem to be in a great deal of danger. But she's still limp.
Seville looks over at Shay. She doesn't look as relieved as she probably should be to have found Nualia after all this. And of course, for Shay, it can't make a whole lot of sense that somebody who grew up with Nualia is suddenly a good 10 years older than her. Well, think Desno you found her, huh?
It's Shay kind of just opens her mouth, but there's no sound that comes out for a second before she just closes her mouth and just nods. She pulls Nualia closer into a hug and starts rapidly blinking because she's trying her hardest to not cry. It's not working that well.
Seville's gonna give her a hug.
Hug is accepted and appreciated and kind of needed.
Kind of pulls all three of them into a hug with her big old monk arms.
She's not gonna cry. She's not gonna cry. She's gonna cry a little. It's okay. A little tears are fine.
Augie, Ismark, any reactions from you two?
Sorry, I'm coughing.
Is Ismark coughing because of his cigarette getting lit when he wasn't expecting it?
Ismark, you did have your cigarette lit and your skin slightly singed by a 9-foot-tall devil babe of a woman.
He for the thing that would really startle him and start him into a coughing fit would be the getting singed, because he would have been probably yelped and said ow, but he would have wanted to say ow. He would yelp and then start coughing, and then the memory thing hits. And he's kind of in a foggy headspace. Not really sure what happened or what's changing, but he's going to set aside the Ranseur and take a few steps back, just looking around and trying to assess the situation, because there's a lot going on. A lot popped off in a very short amount of time.
Ismark, the devil in this room seems content to let you loot it to your heart's desire. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Oh. That's pretty good. 28? Excuse me.
28. So, with the 28, as you're looking around, you do find the aforementioned items. A full suit of sterling silver plated armor, exquisitely decorated with astrological motifs, but with the left arm curiously missing. You find a shield emblazoned with a moon rising over the sea. A little dusty from ill use, but clearly magical. You find a collection of scroll cases and some potions as well, those particularly standing out to your eye as somebody who has been known to make an infusion here and there. But the two things that draw your eye more than anything else are a book, leather bound, filled with handwriting, as far as you can tell, and another book, a different book, with a striking cover. It's yellow, bright yellow. And Ismark, the book looks like this. Ease chat.
Yo. Oh.
Oh no, that's not good.
Ismark, is letting them assess the situation. He's not a doctor, but he'll look at the book and he'll turn it over in his hand, and then he'll look at this devil. She's content to let him and anyone else loot the room. Is she corporeal?
Oh, she's corporeal. She's extremely corporeal.
He just very casually will take the book and scan like the first couple pages. Just like he's trying to keep half an eye on this person because he just does not know who they are. But he'll flip through a handful of pages and then peruse the other books and just kind of snoop around the room. You know, you gotta be nosy. Just a little nosy.
As you do this, the woman looks you up and down, smirks somewhat. Mind what you are reading. Some of the things in here are a little dangerous for mortal minds.
He hesitates and then looks down at the book and then looks back up. Dangerous how? Care to elaborate on that?
She just smirks as she looks at you, leans forward, and Ismark, she's a good 3 feet taller than you. So it's quite a lean. There's a glint of that same magenta pinkish color in her eyes as she smirks. Oh, I think you know. It's only a matter of if you remember or not. But you will. I have faith in you. And with that, she starts to head forward.
Ismark's gonna look at this book that he's holding and just kind of stare at it for a minute. And then start reading it.
Ismark, can you make me a will save, buddy? Pal?
Yes.
Can't be worse than the last one.
Oh, hell yeah. It's not worse than the last one. It's better by a factor of 4.
Oh, hell yeah.
A 9?
That gives me a grand total of a 9.
Oh boy, I love that for you. Ismark, as you start reading this book, a strange thing happens. The text, you're sure that your eyes are taking it in somehow, that the words should be hitting your mind, but it's almost like there's something keeping you from absorbing these lines. And the more you read, the more you have to reread. And rereading, something seems to be welling up inside you, as if you're bashing your head against a wall of some kind, and it only gets more painful, and yet you're compelled to keep trying.
Like bashing your head against the wall of noise.
Yeah, bashing your head against the wall, sirens. But there's one word that seems to stand out to you. And this word, unlike all of the others, when you come across it, is burning blue. Unmask. Unmask. The word reverberating through your head. Unmask, unmask, unmask. What does it mean? Part of you knows what it means, Ismark. You just have to remember.
He's looking at it and like gulps. He's going to try something very weird. Reading the book. He's going to touch the like edge of his chin and jawline.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't happen to be wearing a mask, does he?
It feels like you are, but when did that happen? You didn't notice it before, but it's almost as if there's a seam there.
Oh no.
If you start peeling your face off, I'm
Take
going
it
to
off.
start throwing
Take
things.
it off.
Oh my
I
god.
mean,
Take it off.
I gotta try. Does mask come off?
Ismark, as you try, you slip your fingers beneath this seam that you didn't realize was there, and the first thing you feel is fire singeing your fingertips, but for some reason it doesn't burn. It's just the heat, the tingling of it, of some old, old magic that, as it spreads through you, it feels so familiar to you, Ismark. That's right. You have been wearing this mask, haven't you? You've been wearing it for so long that you forgot. But you're starting to remember the night you put it on. In that basement, surrounded by the pulsing blue lights spread out and fractals all along the walls. A box you shouldn't have opened. The mask inside of it. The mask you've been wearing this entire time beneath your skin. And Ismark, as you lift that mask, you see a torrent of blue fire spilling out from the gap between your jawline and your neck.
Metaphorically, take the mask off, right?
Take it off.
Well, would the others like to roll a perception check if they're inside of Easemark?
Ah, fucking goddamn it,
Inside
you
of
son
Eastmark?
of a
Yeah, I heard that
bitch.
it's
Insight, insight with a T.
God, guys, wear the mask.
There's a lot of room in here.
Just
Little warm.
fucking perception, god.
Are
damn
any
it.
of us insight?
I can see him. I can see where his token is. I'm assuming that is accurate to where he is.
Yes.
Okay.
God, Sola just looks up. He's fucking peeling his face off. What
That's
the
a
fuck?
26.
26. Sola, Eastmark is stock still, staring at a book in his hands. The other hand seems to be clawing at the line of his jaw. But otherwise, he looks normal to you, just horrified and perhaps ensorcelled.
Like, imagine Sola has been, like, going through the paces, has, like, slapped some like, balm on Shay's shoulder and, like, cold drink for Augustiana since it was only spiritual damage, has checked over Holly, is, like, going through, sees this shit, and there's a moment where she's staring, and then there's just a sag of the shoulders as she sees that, like, the clawing is continuing at his chin, and then looks very pointedly at fucking demon woman as she is coming closer. What did you do now? It's just like, now, kind of skirting around Sabine, stepping over Nualia,
Hey, we're hugging here.
stepping over Nualia, brushing past demon. Tugs at the back, like the back little section of hair on Easemark's head.
As you pass the devil woman, she only smirks and shrugs. I did not do anything. You should ask your friend what he is reading. She continues on her way and comes to stand quietly behind Shay. Easemark, you are lost in this vision. You don't even realize Soul is coming toward you. All you can see is the flame.
Even as she tugs at him, like the back of his hair.
The short hairs.
Essentially, yeah.
I'll let you, you know what? I'll let you roll a will save here, and with Sola helping you, I'll give you advantage.
Advantage. Okay.
Yeah, why not? Why not? It's my game. I make the rules.
Fair enough.
Valid. Nice.
That is better, but not great. That's a 15.
15 will not get you there. You are still in this vision, my friend. The flames are now spilling forth and filling this room that you're in, consuming them.
Can I mean, can he just fucking go for it?
Fully unmask?
You got a knife?
You know what? I'll leave it up to a dice roll.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna do a coin toss so everyone can see. Easemark, like, he is completely lost in the sauce. He's just staring at the fire and remembering, and also not remembering. And there is a part of his mind that is still standing in that room, that, like, he knows he's not where he is. As in, like, his mind is elsewhere. But there is just a deep desire to know. And he hates forgetting things. It's why he brings a notebook everywhere. It's part of the reason he thinks he's a good detective. He's got a very good memory, but he also has a very, very bad curiosity, and he was always kind of a reader. And this book kind of got his attention. So he hesitates for a minute, and he will, I'd say this in quotation marks, fully unmask.
Ismark, you fully unmask. You hear it clatter to the ground, and in the clattering, you hear claps of thunder. You hear mountains moving. You hear the very motions of the stars themselves as you ascend. You're higher now, higher up than you've ever been, staring down on the world of Galarian, watching as this column of flame that spills out from your now beautiful, perfect face rains down all across Galarian, across Avestan. There's blue fire raining onto the Starstone in Absalom. There's the markets in Katapesh racked with storms. In distant Tianxia, people run and duck for cover, but you know that it won't save them. It can't possibly save them. But you don't want it to. You don't care about their safety, about what's going to happen to them. You need to know. And the only way for you to know the things you want to know, that you ache to know, to fill that hunger within yourself, is to burn, to consume. And with every light that winks out across the face of Galarian, every life that's fallen to ash and scattered to the winds, you learn something. You learn so many things, Ismark. Your mind starts to swim with them, to buzz as each of these flames grows brighter and brighter, echoing and feeding off of each other like a swarm of insects within your skull. Sola, Ismark has begun to scream.
Scream, you said?
Scream, yes.
Joe, I apologize for this, but it's the only thing I can think to do.
You have to look by screaming first.
So, if he's screaming and he did not react to, like, the little discomfort pain of getting, like, hair tugged,
Mm-hmm.
well, you know, we can mano-a-mano with that. Ear-piercing scream.
Oh!
Well, scream back. Let's go.
She, like, takes a step back, kind of surprised, and then just shouts his, like, full name.
As this scream hits Ismark, dealing 5 sonic damage. Oh, yeah, 5 sonic. Okay. Ismark, you come to your senses. You fall back down to the earth, to this room, to this shape. And the mask flies across the room and lands back on your face.
And I'm out?
I mean, if 5 would knock you out, then you're out. But you're sound of mind now.
Okay. Ismark, like, snaps out of it, and then his head is ringing. That didn't knock him out, but it definitely brought him almost knocked out.
Well, then it's a good thing that you're about to get the balm that gives you 14 back, so.
But he just, like, blinks real hard, and then he blinks again, and he'll take a step back, like a wobbly catch himself step back, and then he'll look up and be like, sorry.
Yeah, imagine as he, like, takes the wobbly step, like, there's a very quick, like, catch his elbow with a hand. It is, like, you see Solo looking very intensely, very serious at him.
Ismark like looks at Sola, and he doesn't know what happened, but he knows something happened, and he just blinks. Did I do something wrong?
I believe you were in sorcery.
He looks down at the book and looks around the room and does like a in place spin. He's like, yeah. And he'll kind of straighten his jacket and wipe his face real hard and dab the blood coming out of his ears.
So we'll take the book from him.
Just as you did that, I sent you the cover of the book in Ismark's hand in Sola Chat.
You dumbass. Yeah.
His grip is like a little limp because you snatch it really fast, and he just like he is kind of in a stupor.
I want to see what it looks like.
You get
Show
to see it if they decide to share.
Show me.
Like, if there is no, like, immediate grab back for the book, Sola just, like, looks at the cover, looks at Ismark. I believe we might need to talk about this later.
He looks at the book and then looks up at Sola and then looks down at the book and nods. Yeah, there's... And he gestures around to the room, away from the other books in the pile that he had seen. He gestures away from them, just to the room at large, and he's like, there's some other weird shit going on. Yeah. Don't lose that. That's, I don't know, evidence of something.
And I imagine, like, Ismark, because he wears, like, the big duster coat and everything, has to have, like, a, like, handkerchief or something, like, tucked in a pocket, right?
Yeah, Ginny made this. There's a handkerchief. There's got to be a hanky in a pocket somewhere.
There's a hanky.
So
It's embroidered.
Sola is just going to reach in, like, lift the corner of the jacket, reach into, I imagine, like, an inner pocket, pull out the handkerchief, and, like, he's got to have, like, if he was seriously scratching his face, like, there's got to be a little bit of blood there.
Yeah.
Just gonna, like, stick it to his chin, grab his hand, hold it there, and then we'll get him a little potion tonic thing, and fucking take your 14 points.
Thank you. Ismark, he'll wipe his face a little bit again, and then he touches the edge of his chin and his jaw. And there's no sense of mask, is there?
Not to you. Not now. Not that you can be sure of.
He like touches, doesn't feel it, and then touches a little bit higher and a little bit like lower, like feeling around like he lost it. And then he'll very casually slide into a chin scratch. You know, normal thing. And then he'll look at Sola and be like, I didn't get anything on my face, did I? I mean, other than... He just kind of waves to the general vibe of combat.
Aside from drawing your own blood on your chin.
He feels his chin. He drew blood?
He did.
That's why she pulled the fucking handkerchief out.
It's not enough to deal HP damage, but it's particularly bad shaved here.
He like wipes his hand and then looks at the hanky and looks at his hand and he just goes, yeah, sorry. And he'll wipe at the spot a little bit more, and he's not going to look Sola in the eye. He's going to look around the room. Just panicked and sweaty and not at all interested in that book anymore.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good luck getting to that book. It is now in a little bag underneath her shit, and she will, if she has to, put a John on patrol of the bag.
Somewhere in a different world, a certain Irish American man nods and goes, "Yeah, that's how you do it."
Yes.
But as this is going on, as the scream is pealing from both Ismark and then Sola shortly, our devil continues her little strut and just leans over Sabine, Augustiana. You can both see this very clearly. She drapes an arm very theatrically around Sheadres from behind as she's cradling Nualia. She smiles, this woman. Ah, it's such a wonderful thing to be free. I had forgotten what it felt like.
You said she draped an arm around Shay?
Mm-hmm. From behind.
Shay's gonna immediately fucking stiffen. She doesn't want that. Doesn't like that.
You want to get in on this hug?
What'd you say?
You want to get in on this hug?
Does Sabine actually say that?
Yeah.
She actually says that.
Yes.
The devil smiles. You're an interesting one, aren't you?
Yeah, I get that a lot.
She does lean over. She does join the hug.
Shay's gonna fucking stand up. No.
You're gonna leave me in the hug with this devil?
No, the devil's not getting into the hug. She's probably in it for like half a second. I was like, I feel like Shay just stared at Sabine like, are you fucking serious? And then Gris actually
arm
takes
around you. It's like she was asking for the hug. Like you don't just leave somebody in the cold out of the hug.
And well, that's what Shay's gonna do. Gris
Shay,
tries to get into
we
the
taught you
hug.
better than that.
Fucking. You gotta remember who Shay's fucking mentor is. As Gris tries to join the hug, Shay just moves so that Sabine, she's not gonna just drop Nualia. She's just going to be like, okay, you hold her. Cause she's going to stand up and be like, you know that feeling when like you're a little disgruntled and you have your coat on you and you kind of like fix your coat a little bit, kind of shrug something off.
Just straightens your shirt.
Yeah, fucking standing the fuck up, just like moves away from that. Just looks at Gris and then looks up.
You have to look up considerably.
He's like, no, we're not doing that.
Oh, you're not doing that? She seems like a little crestfallen, but you're not sure how much of this is her playing it up. Then I suppose you do not want this paperwork you asked me for?
Does she have the paperwork in her hand?
She does have a scroll in her hand.
Shay is going to glare, and her tail is kind of just clicking against the floor. Just holds out a hand.
Gris holds the contract above you, over your head.
The glare is going to deepen.
Kick her in the chin.
So you just talk the whole time, huh?
Yes, I did not think you would like me like this.
Give me the contract.
Ask nicely.
Just did.
I did not hear a request. Did either of you? She says, and she points first to Sabine and then to Augustiana. Did you hear her ask nicely for this?
Oh my fucking god.
Enchantress, we raise you better than this.
Do you see what she fucking is?
Yeah. A hugger.
Now.
No.
She's gonna fucking try and grab the contract.
Go ahead and make me a fucking. Let's make this. What was that?
Acrobatics.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be acrobatics versus contested sleight of hand.
Okay, so am I rolling acrobatics?
Yes, you're rolling acrobatics.
Okay.
As she does that, Augustiana is just like, just say please.
Not fucking cry. That's a nat 20.
That's a nat 20? Holy shit!
That's a
Okay.
nat 20, total of 24.
All
Give
right,
me the
let's
fucking
see.
contract.
Let's see how this goes because she has a very high modifier to this. So even though you're gonna get it, we'll see how close it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what is your total with the 20?
24.
Her total is 30. So as Gris is waving this contract up above your head, she leans in just a little bit too close, thinking that she can yank this away before you get to it. But Shay, you're able to yank it out of her hand in that instant, moving quick as a rattlesnake launching itself. You're able to snatch it away from her. And she raises a brow in honest surprise.
She has a little, I don't know, a little puff of pride. And she's like, yeah, this is mine. I did ask for it nicely. Thank you so much for giving it to me.
As you
tuck it away.
Gris hums to herself. You keep surprising me today. This is very interesting. When did you learn to move that quickly?
Can you repeat that? My headphones cut out at the worst possible time.
You've surprised me a lot today. When is it that you learned to move that quickly?
Last year or so. You know, not like you were there.
Shy, what is that saying? Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Really?
And
I just feel hate.
She smirks. You feel hate for now. We shall see how that goes later. After all, well, she looks to the others and then pauses for a second and switches to Infernal. Could you really hate your wife?
She is going to turn, tuck the fucking contract away, and she's not responding to that. She's like, just turns to the rest of the group, very obviously ignoring the 9-foot-tall devil right beside her. Now,
the 9-foot-tall elephant in the room.
She's
Yeah.
being rude.
Yeah, that's the point.
Gris waves a hand in the air, not dismissing Shay, but as if she's unbothered. Do not worry yourself over this. This is simply our fiery little Shy. Now, if you'll be excusing me, it was very nice to meet you, but...
Bye!
Like, what has gotten into you?
Don't know why you're surprised.
As this goes on, she just smirks, laughs. Do not worry. She will pay for that later. Bye, Shy. And companions, She nods to Augustiana and to Sibyl. It was a pleasure doing business with you. Snaps her fingers, and in another puff of pink light, she's gone.
Fucking thought she'd never leave. She's very indignant.
But that's what she's so good at.
You're right. But Jay's gonna fucking very indignantly, I don't know, wash off blood. DM, if you will allow me, she's going to see
Yes.
Nualia down there,
Mhm.
and she just has one thing to check.
Okay.
She's going to reach in after securing the paperwork that she has to go through later.
Mm-hmm.
She pulls out a flask of holy water. And can I just use just kneel down and just one drop?
I
See if
will
it
allow
sizzles.
you to use one drop without consuming the holy water flask.
So stingy.
It does not sizzle.
There is visible relief as she puts it away.
You really are acting strange now, aren't you?
Yeah. Sorta.
Care to explain why?
Can't get into that now. Just later? Just help me with the fucking trying to get
her. I got her. I assume Sabine can just deadlift her.
Sibyl, you can deadlift probably twice Nualia's weight. You're fine.
Can we remove her armor?
I mean, sure.
At least
Yeah,
the fucked up
take them.
pieces. The ones that are evil coated.
Yeah, and if you want to, you can remove her armor. She's wearing +1 banded mail, and beneath it she has a regular arming gambeson. So, yeah, one of those padded jacket situations.
You know, let's just take off the ones with the black spice. Not spice, black spikes. Probably black.
Pepper.
The one you'd see the Disney villains wear. Just take that off. You know, it's dirty. It's covered in blood anyway. Just get that off of her. Imagine when the screaming starts as they're once they've taken off the fucking bad armor.
No, she's now just in her regular, padded clothing.
Yay.
It's still black.
Oh yeah.
Edgelord.
Exactly. This is an edgelord. But I don't know. She probably wraps up a cloak, tucks it under her head as a pillow. Just gonna figure out what to do. We're going to burn the bridges as we get to them.
So, what next? He's searching the room that Nualia was in?
That'd probably be wise, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Ismark was searching it. So, the rest of the description of the room, if you're not just looking for items, this is a weird chamber. It's lined, as you can see, with red plate along the walls, very similar to the kind that you saw in the catacombs. But the writing here is a little bit different and also seems to shift as you look at it. In the center of the room, right over here, is a fountain that pours water. It seems to be mundane water, but floating in the center of it is a stone sphere of some kind that's suspended in the air, in which the water seems to be running over. Those of you who have Arcana can make an Arcana check if you would like to figure out what the fuck that thing is.
That's a 27, boss.
All right. 27 and a 10.
DM,
So-
can I use this as an excuse to justify a skill rank in Arcana? One skill rank.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know Augustiana had Arcana.
That would give me a fuck is my bonus?
She has exactly one rank because of one of her traits.
Hell yeah.
A 23.
23. Right. So, Augustiana, looking at it, you don't know exactly what's going on here, but there's some kind of magic afoot. You haven't seen an enchantment like this in all of your time in Alkenstar, which must mean that it's, well, a little old-fashioned, shall we say. Behind the times, out of fashion. But, Ismark, as you look at it, when it rotates in the air, just for a second, you think you see a flicker of something on the outside of it. And you think to yourself, maybe this is some sort of scrying situation? Sola, you walk up to this thing, and a cold, dreadful knowledge settles over you like a cloak. And with it, a little bit of anger, as if you've just discovered that somebody has stolen something from you personally. Because you know exactly what this is. It is a scrying device. The water that's spilling over the floating stone orb here converts this into a scrying orb, or should. But it seems that the magic here has gone awry in the centuries since it's last been repaired. But more than that, you realize exactly what's going on here. This scrying orb sees out of the eyes of the statue that now comprises Thistletop. If you were to reactivate the magic here, it would be staring straight at the old light.
So the statue that's above us on top of the island.
The statue whose head you are currently inside.
Okay. I'm sorry, my brain's taking a second to process.
The island is a head, so it's think about like the eyeballs
Yeah.
of the head.
If you look at resources, there's an image there of Thistletop, and you can see that it's the statue with a head. And you're looking out of this would look out of the eyes of the statue.
Towards where the old lighthouse was.
Yes.
There's just a little frown as Osola kind of puts that together. And so that is what it would be used for if it had not gone awry? Or that's
Yes,
what
that's what it's used for, but currently it's not functioning. There are signs that Nualia had been trying to reactivate it, but she couldn't figure out how to make it work.
Would there be a way for Sola to know or try to reactivate it?
Yes, but it would take some time, and this is a powerful enchantment. So, you would have to spend a couple hours at it.
Not if you open the book.
Joe, fuck off. Sola, I imagine, has kind of gotten a little closer and is examining it in kind of... I imagine she knows where the enchantment would be and is kind of like plucking at it just a little bit. And turns in... Are we in the eyeball then? Is that why this room is round?
Yes.
Is there an opening?
Oh.
No.
Oh. And you can see her kind of like look towards the wall and then look back at it. And I guess Ismark would be the only one that would hear this. of her just kind of muttering to herself, like, why would you need to look at the lighthouse?
Look at the lighthouse. Ismark's gonna step over here and then poke his nosy ass inside to see it as well.
Sola just kind of like gestures around the room. You're in the eyes of the head. This would let you see out. She kind of looks towards the back wall. And the only thing in that direction would be the old lighthouse.
Ismark, real quick, did you pick up only that book, or did you pick up the other book too?
I would like to pick up the other books. I would have imagined Ismark picked up several and then fixated on that one for a bit, and then kind of lost in the sauce.
Yep. So, real quick, Shay, you do not get access to the journal. However, you do get access to some of her other writings, and I will sum up some of that for you while Sola and Ismark talk.
Ismark's just kind of scratching his chin. I don't think the lighthouse is involved in this whole, I don't know, demon plot thing. He just waves his hands all the way around.
She kind of looks over her shoulder, back towards where I'm guessing at this point Sabine is holding Nualia.
Yep.
And we'll look at Sabine and then look at Nualia and then look at Sabine. Does Sabine have any expression that she knows what's going on?
It's the same look that she gave Sola after the first will save.
So she just kind of lifts her chin a little bit and then looks back towards this orb and shakes her head. I don't think that this has anything to do with the goblins and Lamash to know. But it might have something to do with something much older.
I'll put it on the list of places to investigate. Once we're done with this whole place.
I did not tell you, did I?
He looks a little surprised because Sola's usually very forthcoming with stuff. No? What? Did you find something else?
And there's just a little smile of kind more amusement than anything else. Sibyl and I did find something to suggest that there is something under the lighthouse.
You don't say. Ismark is pondering about it, and he scratches that same spot that he was scratching raw earlier.
Stop it.
Fuck, it's gonna come off again.
Oh, what? Oh, sorry. Yeah. And he puts his hand in his pocket.
I don't know what this is, but I think it can wait to another day.
He puts his hand in his pocket and realizes he had the other book and pulls out the first book that he had found that wasn't as interesting. And he looks at this one and turns it over.
Ismark, this gives you access to nunu_journal.pdf, which is in resources.
Huh.
If that one starts to make you scream, I'm going to take all of your books.
Hey, this is not a. This is more of a the personal one. And he flips it over.
Journal of Nualia Tobin. Does he read the lady's journal?
Yeah, it does. The heading does say Journal of Nualia Tobin, Paladin of Desna.
Ismark reads it, and he'll look up and look at Nualia from across the room. Does she react at all to him having this book?
She is passed the fuck out, my brother in Christ.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Shay is.
Does
Shay spots the
Shay
book.
recognize
She's
it?
like, oh no.
You gotta tell him you can't read a lady's journal.
He looks at
It's
the
bad.
unconscious Nualia, and then he does not notice Shay approaching yet, but he will do like a quick random open it to the middle of the book sort of thing.
Whew. Close book.
Let's you know what? Let's fucking do this. All right.
Roll
Go
1d10.
ahead. Yeah, roll a 1d. I believe it's 10, and we'll see which
D10.
page he ends up on.
1d10. 1.
1.
Yeah, 1.
All right.
No, yeah, I thought it was a 7 for a second. It is a 1.
So you read the very first entry on the very first page here, and it occurs to you that, wait a second, what's this? This is weird. This seems to be implying that she ran away. But that's not what happened. She didn't run away. She got abducted by goblins. That's what you remember. There was some sort of cult of Lamashtu around, and they're working for the cult, but as you continue to the second one, the very first line of it stands out to you, Ismark. What would you do if you killed your father and made it look like an accident?
Can that be when Shay closes the fucking book?
Yes, that's when Shay gets to him and closes the book.
He, after you snap it shut, he like looks up and he's gonna play it off real cool like and just be like, oh, yeah, sorry, that's private diary or something. Journal.
Shay, who's just like, oh my god, what the fuck did he read? Just like, it's like, yeah, you can hang on to that.
All yours. It's yeah, all yours.
Go and take the book. Fuck it, tuck that shit away. Just go read that.
Taking books. I don't have any books. I like reading. He shrugs.
So, can I have that book back?
Your reading continues to make you injure yourself and start screaming. You
That
need to find better books to read.
could have been a compulsion on the room or something.
You just get this. It's a very deadpan look.
I can lend you
He
some
does
books.
not
that'll
look you in
make
the eye.
scream.
What'd you say, Matt?
I can lend you some books that'll make you scream.
Oh my god.
Ismark's just gonna poke around, and eventually he will work his way back to this little part of the fountain where the little coin slot that would open the door is.
Mm-hmm. What are you
Just
gonna do,
kinda
Ismark?
Give a little looky-loo. Oh. Well, you don't say. Gonna awkwardly squeeze by Augustiana.
Ismark, stop right there. Stop right there, my friend.
Huh? Is it another book?
No,
It's
it's
not
something
another book,
even
is
better
it?
than a book, Ismark. It's even better than a book.
Oh god.
Did I hit a trap?
So, Ismark,
Trap man, you're supposed to find the trap.
As you step along the hallway here, still a little bit shaken from the things that you've seen, you feel something depress beneath your feet. And before you can react, a portcullis falls down, trapping you in place, as these two statues, armed with glaives, slide toward you with their blades at the ready.
Fucking damn it.
Ismark, buddy, pal, could you go ahead and make me a reflex save?
I think I get a bonus to my AC for this and +1 to my reflex because I have trap sense. Yay me!
You should have sent that draft then, huh?
He was too focused on the possible clues from the journal. He wasn't paying attention.
Focus on the journal. He is like of the 100% of his brain, 90% of it is the first book he found. 10% of it is like some weird shit is going on with Shay and she don't want to talk about it. We'll get to that, but it is all of the Shay shit, not
Blue.
just the journal.
What percentage of blades?
Yeah,
That is
1%.
That is a 19.
Okay, 19 reflex save?
Yes.
Oh,
All
boy.
right. With a 19 reflex save, Ismark, you are just barely able to escape the fall of the portcullis. So the statues then slash at the empty air. However, just as you land backward on an adjacent square, do you go toward Augustiana or away from Augustiana?
If the trap springs and swings out like at or in front of him, he would back up towards Augustiana and probably run into Augustiana.
You knock into Augustiana. Could you roll me another reflex save?
No. Do I still get my +1 for trap?
Yes.
Hey, that's gonna be a 17. Not as
Augustiana,
good.
could you roll me a reflex save, please?
Is this whole hallway just littered with traps that domino effect into other traps?
She is fine.
Yo.
Christiana's already been knocked over once today. She says no to doing it again.
She's like, I don't want to do that anymore. That was kind of lame. All right.
No dry cleaning bill.
So, Augustiana, Ismark clambers back like a frightened child in your direction. You step back, and in stepping back, you narrowly avoid the floor falling out from the two of you, from underneath the two of you. Ismark is not so lucky. Ismark, you are going to take 5 falling damage as you fall 10 feet into a pit.
Falls into a pit. You hear like a crash, bang, boof, cartoon falling noises.
And then old man noise.
I'm okay.
That's rough, buddy.
Stupid fucking kicking the wall.
Sola in the other room, still kind of checking out this like scrying orb and thinking. You just see her slowly lift a hand to her face and sigh.
She's gonna start getting the rope out.
If you're still conscious down there, they can haul you out. But Shay, as you're trying to help him up, could you make me a perception check?
Yeah, sure.
I would love if you could make me a perception check.
Yeah,
we love perception checks here.
Yep. Quick question. Does this has everything to do with like, any demons or devils or anything?
No, this is a trap.
Okay. Understood. That's going to be a 27.
27. Okay. Shay, as you get the rope, something occurs to you as you're looking this over. Well, 2 things do. Firstly, there's a lever on the wall that might be related to all of this. But secondly, the floor that fell out above Ismark, that tile is now slowly rolling back into place. He's going to be trapped if you don't do something within a round.
Huh. Okay. Well, team, do I hit the lever? Do I pull the lever, Kronk? Or do I try some other shit?
Pull the lever, Kronk.
Is lever up or down?
It's a pull down lever. It's currently unlevered.
If it resets automatically, the lever might be the play.
Yeah.
Pull the
Joey.
lever.
Okay.
I mean, it's
Fast
either that
action,
or
pull
like,
lever.
get to be able to try to block it open.
That was my other thought. Sacrifice one of our 6 swords. Hold that shit open.
I don't know. We could keep the answer.
Shay's going to dash and just fucking pull the lever and pray.
You pull the lever. The great unseen gears of this trap, laid centuries, millennia ago, by somebody looking to keep the depths of this chamber safe, start to turn. And the stone comes to a stop. Ismark is safe. Bruised, but safe.
Thank you. It's like I fucking torn my disc. He rolls his shoulder.
You can now apply rope and help him out.
Shay's gonna apply a rope.
Man, this man is a hazard, isn't he?
See,
He's going to carefully right himself, and once the floor is closed, he will apologize to Augustiana. Sorry, I was a little caught off guard by the. He makes a vague impersonation of the trap with his arm. I'm gonna go back, and he's gonna carefully squeeze past again. I want to see what's over here. But this time, he's gonna check the traps in the next immediate square.
punch a fucking
So,
traps.
like, Sola is, because he tries to, like, move away, Sola is going to fucking reach forward, grab his sleeve, yank him back for a second, and just, like, tap on the head. More healing, because you keep injuring yourself. Let's see, that's 9 healing. No more for you,
Hey.
sir.
I'm good. I'm doing great. Thank you. I'm almost full. That's plenty.
And I will also just reiterate it in case you guys did not do it. Shay, you got 14. Augustiana, you got 14. And Kokra would have gotten 14.
Let's go.
If you did not do it earlier.
And Mez. Mez also needs to roll her will save. So
Yes.
whenever you have the chance, Iris, roll your will save.
Welcome, Iris.
And this will actually affect your recap.
This will affect your recap.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Number you were looking for is 23. And if you're talking, we can't
So
hear
I
you.
just need a crit, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that.
Just
easy.
crit, forehead.
Mm-hmm.
If it means anything, Ismark critically failed. So, like, what are the odds that you also critically fail?
If she critically fails, she's gonna blame you now.
That looks
Are
like
you-
a fail.
that's a
That's a
fail?
fail.
Yep,
My
yep,
God,
yep,
it's also a
you.
critical fail.
Ismark.
Oh my God.
Joe.
So how do I
On the
die?
plus side, this means you get a happy memory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't die, but you do have a memory of whatever. Actually, you know what? I know what Mez remembers. Mez remembers being at home with her parents and listening to them read to her a story about a dragon slayer from Taldor. You're sitting there on your father's lap as your mother is making you dinner. That's your happy memory that you get. And once
Go ahead.
once that has passed, what's left is we came here to save Nualia, who got kidnapped by goblins along with Suto Kaijitsu. And both of them are younger now.
Yeah,
You don't
both-
remember any of the other stuff.
Both of them have de-aged 10 years.
So, Shay's
I'm now a
older,
big sister.
yeah, and Shay's older sister, that was like a decade older than her, is now just like 1 year older than her.
Yep, 1 year.
Yep.
Ah, so, Ismark, you're proceeding into the room here to the west, right?
Yes, once I carefully check every square inch between him and the door.
Honestly, I was not expecting you guys to trigger that. I'm so happy someone did.
Dude, Augustiana was 1 square away.
You have no idea. The whole time that combat was going on, I was like, if somebody moves into that square, they're gonna have such a bad time.
Joe is the king of fucking around and finding out. You can count on him to discover everything.
Yes.
Mhm. So there's no sign of traps here. You think it's probably fine. In this room, there's 2 pillars supporting the ceiling. In many places, the stone walls, floor, and ceiling are caked with ancient grime and soot. Alcoves in the north and south walls contain partially damaged statues of a man in robes clutching a book and a glaive, the same as the man that almost glaved you to death just now, Ismark. The entire room is canted toward the west, and whatever caused the upheaval that led this to be all tilted has knocked the statues from their bases, so they lean against the western walls of the alcove.
Mark is just kind of marveling at all of the structures and statues, and he's going to carefully approach one of the statues here with the rancer and the book.
Glaive and a book, good sir.
Glaive and a book? Okay. Glaive and a book. And he's gonna try to get a real close look at that book for reasons.
Oh, I'm sure. Ismark, the book is stone, the pages are stone, but emblazoned on the book is the symbol that you've seen a few times at this point, a sahedron. And this is the man depicted in the statue.
Oh, he's not fun.
Yeah, that's an evil looking
Oh, that's
guy
not
right
nice.
there. Ismark he'll like lean out the door here and shout, be like, "Hey, there's more stuff this way. If you know, whenever you got the time. There's no urgency or whatever." And he's just gonna lazily start going back and poking his nose in all the other statues. And for the record, I will say, for the record, when Ismark is investigating something, he is like, he'll look at it really closely. He will also poke and touch it. Like he's very much a physical like investigator. He's got to get his hands on the clues, Unless I say otherwise, I assume that he will just touch the thing.
He did open a sarcophagus.
Yeah. Does he at least have gloves on?
Nope.
These are cultural artifacts.
He needs to feel it.
Yeah, these statues.
I think he has one glove because he's wearing a gauntlet.
Ew.
So these statues are made of pure marble, Ismark. They are cool to the touch. Some of them have very deep claw marks in them. Perhaps, well, who knows, maybe more important and relevant to you is that those gems depicted on yon man over there in the images, those are all embedded within the statues themselves. And if you were to remove the gems from this, again, cultural artifact, those would be worth an easy 400 a pop.
Holy shit!
Time for Z's favorite spell.
There's no magic here.
Cool.
I want Ismark to very surreptitiously try to pocket one of the gems.
Oh, you're gonna have to jimmy it out with a knife. So
Damn it!
there's that. And
If
if
he can't do it
Sola's
with his
right there,
fingers,
she will see
yeah.
him.
He presses on it with a finger and then a thumb, and then he'll kind of pinch it like a little gem pimple, and he can't get it out, and he's like, oh. And he just moves on and starts to investigate other things casually, not like trying to look like a looter.
Sola, as you step into this room, can you make me a will save?
Drop
It's not
the book.
magic.
Drop
Smiley
the
face.
book. Drop the book.
23.
With a 23, your head's gonna hurt a bit, but you're otherwise fine mechanically. However, looking at these statues, you remember this man. You can see the flesh overlaid on the stone. And although this statue has done its best to give him a dignified look, you can see the wretched grin that would often twist his features and the piercing disgust with which he looked on others, with which he looked on you. And as another well of anger swells up within you, you remember his name, Karzog.
She kind of pulls herself up a little tighter, a little taller, and there's a frown. And she just shakes her head slightly. And she is confident that there's not any magic in here, correct?
No magic.
And she'll look towards Ismark and then look back at the statue. If you want this, no one is going to stop you. It's least that he deserves.
Ismark looks at the statue and then looks at Sola, and he will pull out a dagger while asking, "What's the deal with this guy? Do you know this guy?"
I think I did. And he was not a pleasant man.
Ismark snorts and he just goes, "Oh, shame," and he'll pop one of the gems out.
Ismark, you have acquired one set of gems.
Delightful.
Get the other.
So these are a collection of 4 emeralds and 1 ruby worth 400 gold.
Each or total?
Total. But there are 4 statues in the room.
Gotcha. Ismark, he's only going to do that to one. He doesn't need that much money. He's not that greedy. This is the greed place, so there's also a big gold pile at the end of the room, so that's fine. Gonna go up to this door though. Trap?
No trap.
Vision? No trap?
No trap.
Bada boom.
Ismark, you see a set of stairs leading upward.
Nope.
Ismark, like he looks and he is going to peer around the corner. But he just sees that it goes on. And
Yeah,
he
it just goes on.
He just frustratedly is like, Are you kidding me? He's gonna hold a finger up to Solo, just give me a minute. He's gonna tiptoe up here and peer around this corner.
You see another door, Ismark, at the top of the steps.
He's gonna take a knee next to the door and very carefully place his ear against the door. Anything?
Roll me a perception check.
Let's go. Let's perceive. 28.
With a 28, it is absolutely the fuck quiet in there, Eastmark. You don't hear nothing.
Seems satisfied with that. He will very carefully and quietly step away from the door and tiptoe back down the stairs and then come back into the room. And he will close this door behind him. And he'll hook a thumb over his shoulder and be like, there's more stairs that lead up. I don't know. Are they going up or are they going down?
They're going up.
They're going up. It's like, there's more stairs that go up that way. Doesn't sound like anyone's up there, but he shrugs.
I imagine in the space of time that he went up the stairs, Sola is letting John just peck at one of the fucking statues, at the shinies. Like, you want some shinies? Go at it, man. It's just kind of
Shouldn't
arms crossed watching
Sorry,
that.
shouldn't we get Sue and Noelia to safety?
We need to deal with the army that is here. Because I'm assuming the threat to Sandpoint is still a thing that everybody remembers.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Yes,
just the
you would-
kidnapping.
Yes, you remember that the goblins that took Suto and Nualia were planning an attack on Sandpoint. It's just that you think that it was a group of Lamashtu cultists that was orchestrating the gobos.
And I
Are they gonna be okay down here?
Yeah. The only way in and out that we know of so far is these stairs. Well, if we are the ones going through them, they should be fine. Do need to see what was behind that pile of gold, though.
Planning on leaving her here.
Hey, don't forget, there's also that coin slot thing, the fountain or whatever it is. It's gonna make a hell of a lot of noise, so still put a pin in it. But
That's
another way that we could go.
the behind the gold that Solo was talking about, because it looks like a pile of
Oh,
gold.
oh. No, you're right.
What did you say, Matt?
Sabine doesn't plan on like leaving Nuali here if the plan was to kind of stow them away.
Was or wasn't planning?
If the plan was to, as the implication seemed to be, they would be safe down here if left alone because we know the ways in and out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Shay is kind of really stressed. She's kind of pacing at this point. You think we need a little bit of a break? Just a little one, just to rest and not go anywhere. Just a minute.
Is that a request or is that a question?
Both.
Ain't no skin off my bones. We can take 5.
Yeah, the way I second that.
Good. Sola.
And there's just a brow arch.
Sola, huh? Anyway, need to talk to ya. Just, away from people.
Solo will nod and start to move out of the room with the statues. They were informed of Mez's situation, right? Or is that still not public knowledge?
The gun people?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, I think
Fiona.
so.
The moment you walk by Ismark, he's looking for the book in your bag. He's not going to reach out, but he's like leering and looking with his eyes to see if he can see where you stashed the book. Sola.
Good fucking luck, buddy.
Where the fuck is it?
You try to look for it, you see John.
As Sola is walking by, we'll kind of pause beside Augustiana and kind of like you see her like look around the corner towards where Mez is down the hall and look at Augustiana. If you would like to get some money for helping Mez, maybe pop a few more gems off the statues in the next room.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
It's like if you want to get some more money to help Mez, pop the gems off the statues in the next room.
That sounds like a trap, but she will comply.
If she looks at all nervous, like there's just like a hand wave of like, his Mark's already done it. If anything was going to explode, he would have exploded.
What?
Yeah, I said what I said. Moves on.
Where'd you put the book, Sola? Which bag is it in?
Good fucking luck, buddy.
Which pocket?
Where are we going, Shay?
Fucking away. Going. Sees Kokoro, sees Sudo for the first time. She's like, keep walking. She's gonna keep fucking walking.
Suto is fresh-faced and young, and as you walk by him, he kind of tilts his head. Miss Vialdry?
I imagine that would make her pause. She's like, who the fuck called?
Shay just gives a spit take.
Also, for Iris, there was a de-aging. I don't know if that was said already.
Yeah, Suto is a young man now.
Like a fucking 15-year-old.
Yeah, he's 15.
Young enough to say miss to a 20-year-old.
She's 22. But Shay would kind of get to here, is like, can't go any farther, looks over to see Sudo and Kokoro, and kind of just like, turns to them, turns back to Sola. Could you tell him to move?
Sola just takes a slow breath, looks in their direction, and looks at Shay. I think I know what you want to talk to me about anyway.
Do ya?
The real reason we are here, no?
Just gonna fucking squint.
Sola just kind of crosses her arms and tilts her head. If you're, and you see her like her lip curl and look very pointedly at the hand that has the ring on it. A wife does not pause me in time. What makes you think she would be able to alter my memory?
Thank fuck. Okay, good. Sigh of fucking relief. She's gonna fucking slide back on her glove over her fucking ring.
You took your glove off?
Yeah.
I think I missed that.
I
Roll
don't
me
think I
a
did
perception
that.
check. Both you and Sola.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a 23.
Sola?
Where's my perception modifier? I've been sitting on my spell list.
I just imagine the ring isn't gonna fit over the
24.
24. All right. The two of you spot a scar that looks something like this on Shadras's left hand, the back of the palm.
Do I recognize what that is?
You know what, Sola? You just might. Roll me a history check.
Okay, I'm good at that, supposedly. That's a 27, boss.
Christ, you are good at that, ain't you?
Fucking I better be.
So there's many runes associated with Thassalon, and most people tend to remember the later runes, especially the ones associated with the rune lords. Those are the ones that seem to have stood the test of time better than most of the others. This isn't one of those. This is a rune even older than those, one of the first ones that was entrusted to the rune lords by Isala, the god who created this system of rune magic, and it was the very first rune granted to a rune lord. The first rune lord, as a matter of fact. This is the rune of love.
Solo, seeing the scar on Shay's hand, will kind of like reach out and very slowly take her hand, stopping her from like putting the glove on, and examine the scar and kind of twist it one way and the other, just making sure that it's like there. And you see the curl of the lip again.
She was just looking at this fucking rune. And she's just 1,000-yard stare at it. I don't think that's good.
It is a very old magic. I don't know what it is trying to do to you yet, but yeah, I can guess that your wife is very determined that you are going to return her supposed feelings.
There's a little flinch in Shay as she takes her hand back and just stuffs the glove back on. Hey, could you not call her that?
What would you have me call her?
Pest? Mistake?
There's kind of the brows go up, and you get this like head to toe like look over. Is Shay what's Shay's vibe at the moment?
There are so many vibes all conflicting each other right now. At the moment, there's a lot of anxiety. And good heaping helping of anger right on top.
And Sola kind of tilts her head and will like let Shay put her glove on and everything, but then will hold out a hand again, like she's asking for Shay to take her hand.
Shay will take hand, I guess.
There's a little squeeze.
Squeeze act.
Oh no, that you have nothing to be. Yes. Ashamed about, yes. Angry, yes. Worried, yes, but not shame.
You know, I disagree.
Why?
I don't think we have the time to talk about all of that.
Yeah, you wanted to tell me the grand fiasco of the past, what, week? We had time for that.
You know, I just wanted you to tell everyone, well, not sit or note, because that defeats the purpose of what I did. So, just, could you let them know? And make sure that, two it's about don't find out, because that'd be bad. Very, very bad, and would make it all for nothing. Just make all of it.
And Sola is still like holding her hand and watching. You see her eyes narrow for a moment, but she doesn't say anything. And she'll just kind of let Shay's hand go and kind of fold her arms over. I have to make sure everybody knows. I have a feeling I am not the only one that remembers. But I will give you the same caution that I have given Kokoro. Walia is now your responsibility.
I know. I know.
If she falls back to Lamash too, you have to deal with her, no matter what that means.
I know. Just couldn't kill her. So, next best thing. Just can you just tell him I don't like talking and can you tell him but just not tell him about the exact history or the details of the deal. Just
So you want me to tell them, but not tell them?
and tell him everything except the exact nature of the agreement. Just
I will have to give them some explanation as to why everything reset.
yeah, just not the fact that I'm just don't mention the
You cut a deal, but not the how.
yeah, just not the not normal part. Just not the married part. Just everything but that. Please.
Sola frowns a little bit. Oh no, you will need to tell everybody eventually. If you want any help in figuring out the contract. I assume you still have, yes?
Got a copy of it. I'm gonna look through it. There's always loopholes in it. It's thick though. It's gonna take me some time. But I'll find it.
If you want it. I have written many contracts in my life. I can't help and I think Sabine will also be of use.
Kind of tilts her head at that, just like she probably would, but then she'd know and
There's a little, like, there's an assurance to what Sola has said. She is not going to spill the beans on Sabine without Sabile's permission.
My beans.
But there's a confidence in how Sola has said Sabine will be helpful.
over Shay's head.
Sola just kind of tilts her head.
Much like her wife.
Shay, when all of this is done, I want you to come to my shop and we shall have tea and talk, yes?
I I'd rather not talk about this. I'd rather just...
You'd rather not, but you cannot stick your head in the sand.
No. Stick my head into the fucking contract. Find a way out of it.
I say this with all of the respect, as I know that you are a very smart and capable woman. If you were going to be able to find a way out on your own, you already would have. You need help. This woman knows you, whether you like it or not.
Just... Fine. I'll ask for help. If I can't figure it out, I'll come to you. And Sabil. And that's it.
And there's this like frown, but she doesn't argue. She's kind of like gives your arm a little pat and turns, heading towards down the hall towards the others. I still expect you to come for tea, regardless of contract.
Okay.
And as she turns the corner and sees Suto and Kokoro, she kind of looks Kokoro up and down. Kokoro still has the contract binding magic on her, right?
Yeah, the contract that you struck earlier.
And Solo will just slowly reach out a hand towards Kokoro. Kokoro, may I see you for a moment?
Oh, are you a friend of my sister's? I haven't seen a Samsarin in forever.
This fucking twerpy voice.
There is just a very faint smile, and Solo will kind of bow her head. Yes, I'm newly acquainted with your sister. Yeah, I would like to say we might become friends, yes.
Do you speak Minkayan? There's almost nobody to practice with except for the family, and I don't know, I always wanted to speak it more.
And Solo will kind of, the smile is still there. And she will just swap over to Minkayan, which is more of a normal language for her than the one she is currently fucking talking in. And she's like, yeah, I do speak Minkayan. It has been a long time since I've spoken Minkayan.
Whoa, you sound so cool. Oh man, we're gonna get so much practice into this.
Hey,
He
bud.
happily tugs on Coco's sleeve.
Hello.
Kokoro just ruffles Suda's hair and gets up. Like, okay, I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, I'll just stand here with this pile of gold.
Don't touch the pile
Don't
of
take
gold.
any.
Don't. All three.
All three of the women in this hallway tell him this, and he just holds his hands up immediately. And he's like, oh, okay. I won't.
She'll get up and go over.
As soon as Kokoro is separate and closer to Sola, Sola will reach out a hand in the similar gesture to Shay of like trying to get Kokoro's hand. I have something to
Okay.
tell you that's a little. It is a lot. May I do something to speed up the process?
Sure.
So she'll close her eyes, and when they open again, they are pure white. And this is not exactly how it works, but may I beg permission to use share memory to just essentially reset the memory for
Yeah, we can
Kokoro
shortcut it.
specifically.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it. You can shortcut it.
I only have one casting of it, so it's going on Kokoro, but
Kokoro,
you remember
you
everything.
now. Yeah, Kokoro, you remember everything.
She just kind
fuck.
of blinks. Yeah. Okay, that was a bit weird.
But there is some magic to help give the second chances that you wanted so desperately for your brother to have.
It's not what I had in mind, but I'll take it.
Sola nods, looks kind of down the hall, watching him for a moment, looks back to Kokoro. You will have his second chance, but do keep an eye on him, yes?
She nods.
Uh,
And I'm guessing Nualia is gonna be okay too?
And Sola nods. She had to cut a deal of some sort. It is not pleasant, but she made sure that both were included.
Does it have something to do with that hot devil from earlier?
And there's just a roll of the eyes.
It had to be asked.
Coco's like, whose wife is that? Eyes emoji?
No one ever mentioned the word wife.
It might have something to do with her, but do know that she did her best to make sure it wasn't just benefiting Nualia. She leans a little
Well, I
closer to
appreciate
Kokoro.
that.
She may be prickly, but she is good at the core.
I'll have to thank her personally.
So we'll just kind of like turn Kokoro's hand, so you can see the shine of the magic on both our hands from the deal. I'm afraid I cannot even break this between the two of us for now, but it will go away after we are done here.
It's okay. I don't think it'll come up anyway.
Sola nods.
So we just gotta go take out the goblins now, right?
And hopefully it is just goblins, but yes.
Alright. Easy peasy.
And she kind of like nods and then looks towards Pseudo again, and she lets go of Kokoro's hands, but crosses her arms. I think you might need to consider something, though. You will likely have to tell your siblings some story about your father.
I guess it depends on what they remember, huh?
She nods.
I will have to ask Amiku what she remembers and build something around that. But once I do, I'll tell you whatever lie I make up.
I imagine, yeah, the goal is that everybody in our little... And she kind of like does a circular motion with her fingers. Group. It'll eventually remember most of what happened. Oh, whatever you come up with, just let us all know. I think all of us
Yeah.
will be willing to play along.
I'm pretty good at making up convincing lies. Should be pretty easy.
She nods and looks back over her shoulder towards Shay. And looks at Kokoro. If you excuse me, I need to talk to a few other people as we are gathering ourselves.
Yeah, right. Do what you gotta.
Mm-hmm.
Tsuto
Shay.
continues doing his squats and push-ups.
Good job. Very proud of you. One day you'll bulk up.
Your form sucks.
But,
Not even bother.
yeah, but Shay is going to stay in her little corner. She's going crisscross applesauce as far as she can get away from everyone else. She's going to pull out her book, and when we're ready to continue, someone will come collect her. But she doesn't want to be near anyone while the talk's happening.
I've got some bad news for you, Shay.
Well, she's crisscross applesauce. Nose is in a book. In a corner as physically far away as she could possibly be.
And Kokoro just walks up beside her and just slides down next to her.
Well, she was trying to avoid this.
Yep, you're not escaping.
She can't escape. I imagine she looks at the door. She considers it.
You could go down it, but I would chase you anyway. Believe it or not, I can outrun you.
Probably. But we could die first, so that's things I'm looking forward to.
Kokoro just sighs. That girl you were asking about, I may have framed an attack on myself to get her kicked out.
Regent Shay puts the book down, turns to look at her. And also for my sanity, can you move the token?
That means I have to get back on roll 20.
Thank
I
you.
got
Big appreciate.
So like right here.
On top of Shay?
To me, it's below her. Wait, what? Why are you teleporting? What's going on? What is this witchcraft? I just saw like 30 different token movements in like a split second. I'm terrified now.
It's okay. It's okay. It's fine.
Roll20 is not going to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not convinced. Okay, that's good.
But she turns, and she looks, and there's a bit of a I don't know, ear twitch, a straight spine, slight lean forward, piercing eye of just oh. So what exactly you do?
Oh, I did a disguise spell followed by a charm spell. Just convinced him that I tried to break into my own room. Framed her for it.
She just looks at her. Do you know that's illegal, right?
Uh-huh. I'm not really much of a law-following person.
You broke 3 laws.
And I'm sure I'm going to break more into the future. It's not really my concern. The only thing I care about at the moment, and probably still care about, is maintaining the sanctity of the play. If there's one thing that I can't stand, it's people forcing their ideas onto the creator, ruining their vision for it. As the flower of Menkai, I find that abhorrible.
So why'd you lie? Before?
Well, technically, I did not lie. I
You
said that
did?
there was an attack. No, I said that there was an attack on me, and there was. I just did it to myself. Not much of a lie, so much as disguising the truth. There is a difference, even though nobody will ever admit it. And besides, you're a what is it? You're the bloodhound of Sandpoint? I'm not gonna tell the truth to somebody like that. Not normally.
You should. Because I can tell when you're lying.
It's okay, I'll get better.
What the fuck? Just,
If you expected me to repent my ways, I'm not going to do that.
no, just don't lie to me.
But there are times when lying's a better form of love. Which
No,
is why you don't think so?
no.
So, for instance, if we were to go and tell Amiko everything that just happened, that would be better for you.
I think she deserves to know the truth. So why I needed permission to say you could know? Because you deserve to know.
I would have been happy not knowing as well. What matters most is that we're happy now. I came here to thank you, and you're making this very difficult.
Can't do that.
Don't,
Sorry.
please don't tell Amiko.
I can't tell anyone besides you and Sola.
Well, that's a relief. My sister deserves to be happy after all this. And so does yours. And so, that is my thank you, is telling you what I did. Because you seem to be really, really inquisitive about it for some reason.
I don't like lying. Or hiding the truth.
We'll have to disagree on that. Because sometimes for me, lying is love.
Well, for me, that's hate. So, in the future, don't lie to me.
I make no promises. She just gives a smile. For that, we're gonna have to agree to disagree on.
Yeah, for that we'll argue about it later. But you're welcome.
She nods. What is it that you're gonna do in regards to your sister now?
Don't know. Gonna figure that out later. Just if we can live through this, and if we can get back to town.
Well, it's just some goblins after this, right?
Goblins and who knows what else. There's probably other things.
You know, you could probably go get Shalelu to come here now. She has no reason to stay away now.
True, but I don't know if we have the time. She probably went to the bottom of the thing and probably take a few hours to get to her.
Do you know some way to signal her to come here?
They have the flare, but that's an emergency flare. She's gonna come in thinking that I'm dying.
Well, that just means she'll be more efficient, won't it?
Huh. Good point.
I'm just saying, maybe give it a try. You don't have to, of course, but could use her. And I know she wouldn't turn down a goblin slot.
True, but what if we get delayed? We need someone to hold back the wood. Whatever's left of it. Make sure none get to town.
I'd like to think that won't happen. I'd like to think that combined, with our powers combined, we can live it.
Probably could, but what if it takes a long time? What if some of them decide to just go and do it? Need to plan
Well-
ahead.
Well, we're going to be cutting down half their forces anyway. If they do manage to do it, it's only going to be with like a small handful. Even the gods can take care of that. I mean, unless you're presuming we walk down the store and immediately die, then I guess we would need her there. But
I mean, we could.
I mean, I guess Ismark did just like dive down a pit, huh?
I think he fell.
No, he definitely like jumped down it. Like
No?
she makes a motion of him like falling, like trying to jump and fall.
Look, I'll bring it up to everyone. When I go over there, say they want me to call in the, Lulu. Just later. I don't want to be over there right now.
For somebody so community-based, you are so solitary.
Yeah.
There's just
There's
a,
no further
a
comment.
pause
You're just
between-
right. You're just 100% right.
Is it like a anxiety thing, or? Because I get that. Well, no, I don't get anxiety, but I understand it.
Just don't like being around a lot of people. It's a long story.
Well, I've got time.
You know, I need to read.
No, you don't.
I want to read.
Okay, see? See, you just tried to lie to me just now. She
No.
just giggles and stands up.
I need to read every day. Haven't read it yet today, so I do need to.
Why do you need to read? Are you under some obedience to read a paragraph every day?
No, but it's a couple of chapters, actually. And it's tradition.
Why are you following tradition? What book is it anyway?
Just my guidebook.
Guidebook on what? I'm going to keep asking questions until you tell me. Like, I want you to understand how it feels.
How religious are ya?
She just blinks as if you had to ask her that.
She does.
She points to herself, goddess?
She is going to show her the cover of the book. It's literally just religious text on the fucking local pantheon.
It's not even the book Sabila gave you? Damn.
Oh. So you're interested in just religion in general?
Yeah, actually. And, specifically a couple of them that's in the pantheon. So I read them every day. Need to. Always have.
Hmm. Well, when we get back, I shall happily give you my autobiography.
What?
What? Well, you probably can't read Mankind, but
No.
give it a... Well,
Can't.
that just means you need to learn.
What? No.
What is a religious text? You'll like it, I promise.
Can we talk about this later?
Are you going shy on me?
Don't. Just. I'm reading now. Just. Can you go? Please.
Can
just,
you even read in this darkness?
Yeah.
Oh, you can see in the dark. Nice, nice. I can't.
She's gonna fucking open her book now. That's cool.
Sandras, that sounds like a you problem.
Thanks.
So-
Ease has a lantern or something. Should probably go over there.
But that would be exactly what you want me to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the point. Look, I just want to
All
read.
right.
Just let me
I
read.
will leave you. I will leave you alone
Thank you.
if you promise to try and learn mankind later.
What?
What?
I'll fuck it. Fine, I'll try. Give it my best shot.
You promised. And remember, you hate lying, right?
Yeah.
With that shit, walk
Fucking.
Now I know how to get shit and do what I want.
Fucking. She's gonna fucking. Go crack open her fucking book. She's. I don't want to be near anyone right now.
Say you crack open your book and are embraced by the sweet, sweet sound of silence.
Thank fuck.
Sola, how are you breaking the news to our friends and companions here?
I imagine if this is like everybody is settling down for a breather. She is one by one getting people. She's not trying to do okay, everybody gather up, let me tell you a story. Cause that's gonna fucking blow up in her face. So
Holly just taps you on the shoulder and pulls you out.
it's whoever she runs into next. So it's two primary ones. I'm sorry, Augustiana, but you were not here for some of it. But it shows she's like Mez and then Ismark and then Augustiana. Because she just showed up and she's here more for Mez as far as Sola is aware.
Mm-hmm.
So just one by one pulls them aside. It's like, okay, I'm going to tell you how would she phrase it? We need to have a conversation. Something has happened. It is going to sound very crazy, but I promise you that I am telling the full truth, and I can prove it to you later when I have my magic at more full health type magic. And we'll tell the story of what happened the past couple days, leading all the way up to Shay cutting a deal that reverted these two back 10 years in exchange for everybody forgetting. And she will leave out the specifics of the who and the how. And again, because at this point, if they know, there is nothing that prevents Shay from confirming. As far as Sola is aware. She's not read the contract. But we'll be like, Kokoro already knows and remembers everything. Shay remembers everything. They will tell you that it's true. And if you need further confirmation, I will make sure that you remember everything in the coming days.
Question.
Yes.
Answer.
What would Sola say, what kind of deal has that power? Would be Med's question.
Oh, she has not been. She would say a devil deal.
Yeah, Mez wouldn't believe that.
I'll go talk to Shay.
Shay making a deal with the devil? That makes no sense at all. What are you talking about?
Shay making a deal for the devil for the sake of her sister.
It still makes no sense.
Then go ask Shay.
Very conclusive, Ms.
Hey, Shay, you're not getting that silence for long. Kokoro leaves, Mez shows up.
She just wants to be a hermit.
Too bad, so sad.
Not allowed.
That's fine.
Mez said, "It's time for my conversation with Shay address."
Fuck it. This is
Mom,
why
it's my turn.
this is why she got the deal so that she can tell Sola, so Sola can tell everyone, so that she doesn't have to talk to anyone. I imagine she just got to like the best part of the passage. She hears footsteps and she's like, "Oh fuck, that better be Pseudo running in place."
I'm gonna be like 100% real here. I want to RP this scene.
Okay.
But I don't have the spoons right now.
You can just do it later.
That's fine. Yeah, we can put a pin in that one.
Mm-hmm.
And
I am sorry.
No, it's fine. She gets to read. This is good.
she'll... Yes, the next one is Ismark. Ismark, come here. Explain everything.
He's still bumming around in this room with the statues.
Helping Agustiana pop some gemstones out of the statues.
Yeah, he'll pop them all out. Good night, Cody. Oh, I missed it. Well,
Can you get the same spiel?
Yeah, you get the same spiel.
oh, the same exact spiel. I thought it was going to be the same spiel plus.
No.
The same spiel, but please keep your face on.
No more mask.
Ismark will nod and listen and do his best to pay attention. He 100%. His mind is elsewhere. He is. Ismark isn't social, but Stola would know that Ismark. He's kind of a mixed bag when it comes to social energy. He likes to be in the room with a bunch of people occasionally, but he doesn't socialize. He's totally fine with being in the room and being quiet and just kind of fly on the wall again. But he has gone off into this statue room, presumably helped Augustiana get some gems, and kind of slinked back over here, having the actual quiet time that Shay wants.
Shay, Ismark continues to have all of the things that Shay wants.
I want what he has.
This fucking bullshit.
But when you come back in there, he will he does seem off, and then he'll nod and like seem kind of off, and then he'll go to write it down because he takes notes every so often, and he'll pull out his little hand note, or his not hand note, his little like pocket notebook, and he'll flip to a page, and then what he thought was a blank empty page, and then sees a bunch of notes on it, and he blinks at it and reads it again, and he just kind of furrows his brow, and he's like, so you wouldn't happen to know anything about this stuff? And he'll turn his notebook around and show you the notes he took, which I will just send to you, because it's him working off of his memory. He had scribbled this down by memory. Doot.
Sola
Mhm.
kind of like reads it and blinks for a second. Reads it again. That would be the conversation that led to the deal, yes.
He nods and looks at the notes. Uh-huh. And he'll look you in the eye, Sola. He like closes his notebook and sticks it in his pocket. One of his many pockets of his new jacket. And he just looks you dead in the eye, and he'll scratch his chin and he'll say, "You know, I'm gonna poke my nose into this."
And there's a kind of a tired smile. I am not surprised. But maybe don't poke your nose into it until we are done here. And she just like gestures around.
He looks around and just nods. That's fair. So, and he'll tilt his head and he looks at your bag. What are the odds I can convince you to let me see that book again?
Not while we are here.
He go for a second, and then he'll nod. Thanks for snapping me out of it.
What did you see exactly?
Scratches his head. I sort of like the sun. So it felt like staring into a sun. It was real bright, and it was real warm. It's not the Hells, though. I know enough about the Hells to know that this wasn't them. Blue. That was the only thing. It was like staring at a blue sun. It was hot and bright and blue, and there was... It felt like I could just know something. If I needed to know it, I could just know it. Even if I didn't need to know it, I would know it.
Does that strike anything for Sola? I'm assuming it has a little bit of like a strike to the fucking plant thing. But anything else?
Why don't you roll me a knowledge arcana? And then if you roll above a 25, why don't you roll me a will save? Smiley face.
Oh, that's definitely above a 25. That is a... Getting slower and slower at the math. 28, in fact.
Will save.
That is a 23.
23. Okay. So, Sola, as he's describing this, you feel a strange sensation at the back of your neck. You can feel your hairs stand on end there, but worse than that is a feeling as if there are tendrils slipping in between your vertebrae. This awful crawling sensation as you try to think about what it is he's described to you. And after a little bit, you start feeling your temples burn. You're not sure what's going on, but it hurts. And in the throb of this pain, there's a name that comes to mind, and you're You're not sure what it is or what it means, but it resonates with each pulse of your headache. Fomelhout.
The what?
Here you go.
Okay.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. Oh, also, you take 3 damage. Psychic damage.
Oh!
You can see her kind of like frown and her brow furrow, and she stops looking at Yzmark and is like looking at the ground. And you can see the discomfort. And then as the word comes to her, finally, she just sits down.
Huh? What's wrong?
And Imagine has reached a hand out and has kind of like placed it along Holly, like using Holly as a support. And has moved her other hand in kind of the protective gesture over John on her shoulder. Then looks towards Yzmark and stares at him for a moment. I need you to be very, very honest with me. I know you like your secrets, but it may not be to do with just you. Have you come across Thessalonian thing or rune magic before?
DM, keep me honest. Yzmark blinks for a second and starts to shake his head no.
The skies do not open up and smite you.
And
Hell yeah.
have you seen the blue fire?
Thinks about it. And he nods once for a second. Like, not counting the vision, well, not counting that. He gestures to your bag to indicate the book. He hooks a thumb over his shoulder to kind of reference the past. And he just goes, I saw something not too long ago, but when we were dealing with Pseudo and all that stuff, you know, before Pseudo was waves in that direction. I saw, I think it was a dream. Saw a cabin, it was burning, it had blue fire in it. Why? What's the blue fire mean?
Sola is still kind of leaning against Holly. Shakes her head. I am not certain, but Yzmark, you know that I caution you often, but please hear me not true this time. If you are seeing these things, I think you have been connected to something much older than you. Something that may even be older than me.
He blinks. And what does that mean? Is it, you know, old bad?
I'm not sure yet, but Thessalon fell for a reason.
Yzmark gulps.
You do not have to bring things to me. I am not the only person here that can figure things out, can look things up. But do not go poking your nose alone. Not about all of this.
He opens his mouth to say something, and he hesitates. And he just nods. Yeah. And he starts to think about it. And when he starts to think about it, he scratches the same spot on his chin.
There's a click of the tongue and a smack to his wrist.
Ow! What the? Oh, sorry. I guess I'm forming a new habit.
What makes that spot so concerning?
I don't know. Stubble? I'm not gonna roll deception.
So she can see that he's bullshitting.
He's trying to play it off as like, it's nothing. It's just a, haha.
Matt, is it the red text is true or the red text is fake?
The red text is true.
Oh, damn it. Can't make that joke.
I mean, you can just pretend that's not the case.
The text is white.
Feyre just... Or not Feyre. Fucking... God damn it. It's...
What are you doing here?
My brain has decided to go on vacation. We've hit that part of the night. Sola just, like, is staring at him. And will lean forward a little bit. And wait until he's, like, met her eyes.
Takes him a second, but he does.
He's Mark. You hear me now. After you touch the plant in Ginny's garden, the one that I stopped the symptoms of, you remember?
He nods. Yeah.
I still saw the fire in your stomach.
He kind of looks down at the ground for a second. And he remembers it. And he looks up and says, what does that mean?
It might be the initial infection. It might be a reawakening of something else. I don't know, but I need you to know that you are already in over your head. That is not me making any comments about your ability. You are a smart man. Better than most. But you are in over your head. The only way to not drown is to reach out for others.
He like reaches up, and he doesn't have a hat, but he like puts his hand on the top of his head and brings it over his face and wipes real hard. Seems like just when things start to calm down, they kick back up.
She leans back and gives a little nod. Unfortunately, the world tends to work like that. Stretches of peace, stretches of chaos. I think we have entered into a stretch of chaos.
I think you're right.
She kind of looks over her shoulder, like down the hall to the others. And if I'm remembering correctly, Sola and Ismark are the two oldest of the group, right? Or is Sabila added into that now?
Sabile's 33.
Ismark and Sabile are the same age.
But Sabila is also a half-elf?
Mm-hmm.
So Sabila's baby?
Whoa.
She's closer to like 24, I would say. Matt, would you say that's about right?
Yeah, it's probably about right.
Or is it like 33? Is it 33 actual years or 33 maturation years?
It's 33 chronological.
Set to endure 33 years.
Gotcha.
So Sola kind of like looks down the hall to where the others are, and looks back to Ismark. Unfortunately, I think that we have to deal with keeping the young ones in line.
Yeah, and there's a moment where he laughs and kind of looks up and does this nod in agreement, and he's like, and then he hesitates and goes, "Hey, wait, hold on. Are you implying like I'm one of the senior members?"
And Sola kind of looks at him. There's just like very nonplussed. It gives you practice for when CC is older.
He goes to disagree and then doesn't. Oh, you're right. Oh, you're right. He rubs his eyes.
Between you and Jenny, you know that that girl is going to be an adventurer and giving you gray hairs.
You know, I didn't want to think about it because she's still real small. Don't want to think about her holding a sword or charging into battle or whatever. In this whole situation, I would melt if Cece was any one of them. And he points out to the door.
And there's a little smile, a nod, and then she kind of started to pull herself together and is slowly getting up. Yes, well, perhaps that will keep your eyes on them then. Just imagine. I'll just see in 20 years.
Yeah. Oh boy. We'll see. Yeah, you know, maybe in however many years when she wants to be an adventurer, I'll have to walk her happy ass over to you, and you can tell her what for. You've been an adventurer at least 10 times as many times as anyone else.
There's a little smile. Yes. And every time those older than me could not stop me.
And he, like, crunches his nose. Maybe.
Let us go check on the others and see what is going on, but do remember my words, Ismark. Like it or not, you are a family. So have to keep an eye on you too.
He nods, and at the thought of his family, he kind of smiles. And he goes to, like, scratch the spot on his jawline, but he stops himself again, and he just goes, "Yeah, Yeah, yeah. Thanks.
Sola will nod. Cody's not here, so just hand wave the Augustiana.
Mm-hmm.
Only other person Sola has to talk to is fucking Sabine, who she knows and remembers shit.
Yeah. Tell us what Sabile's up to, Matt.
I mean, she's just where we left her.
Yeah, Sabile is sitting in one of the chairs here, holding Nualia, who is still knocked out.
Sola will just kind of walk into the room, like hands folded in front of her, just kind of giving Sabine a nod at first. Her eyes are like immediately going over to the scrying orb, but she'll pull her attention away and back to Sabine. I remember all of it, yes.
Oh yeah, it's terrible, Doc. I can't believe all the things I did.
Just a little roll of the eyes. I do realize that if she had a tendency to fall once, it is still there even if she is young again.
You know something? Every single thing she said about me was right.
You just get this arch of the brow, kind of what you would recognize as Sola just like patiently waiting for a continuation of the thought.
Guess there ain't no point in hiding it now. So, I loved her, and I wasn't there for her. She needed me, and I didn't look hard enough for her. I knew how much she hated being what she was. Told her some crap about some trees.
And are you so certain that just being there for her would stop what happened?
And I'd stake my life on it. Already did once, right?
There's a mixture of amusement and disapproval in equal measure. You can feel the eyes going to where like the injuries are / were.
There's a lot of places to look. It's on the most of me.
So is that what you intend to do now after all of this? Become her keeper?
If that's the way she'll be happy, I'll do whatever I need to do.
Does that make you happy?
Right now, I'm not sure.
So it takes a little step forward, a little bit closer. In all of this moving around earlier to get to Easemark and everything, she has been very careful that she's not touched Nualia. There's been the very clear, like, That is not for me. She's leaned forward just a little bit and is examining Nualia very closely.
She seems perfectly fine. Younger, but still wounded. You can see evidence of some of the wounds dealt to her earlier today still on her body. Her breathing is a little weak, but steady enough given the circumstances.
And her arm is back to what it was before, or is it gone?
It's back to what it was before. It's a regular arm.
And in regards to like her being, is like her sitting at 0 and stable, right?
She's at like -1.
Does stabilize set her to 0?
Stabilizing just means you stop losing health.
Yeah, she doesn't need to make any death saving throws right now because you healed her, so she's fine and stable in that way. So stabilize wouldn't bring her to 0. You would need to actually heal her.
Yeah, stabilize just stops the bleeding out process.
You could make a heal check. You could drop a charge of your wand on her.
Some bomb.
Sola's kind of like looking Nualia over very closely, very carefully, and looks towards Seville. I do not realize that dedicating yourself in such a way is a very long commitment.
Well, it's a good thing I'll live a good long while then, isn't it?
And she looks back to Nualia again. Who was she dedicated to? Her cursed one.
She was a paladin of Desna. Never really could figure out if I thought it suited her or not.
Sola kind of nods. You see her thinking. And then she shakes her head. Not Desna. I need something. But she looks back to Seville again. You realize this is her own second chance, yes?
You're telling me that, but got any reason you're so certain about that?
Sola just kind of stands up straight again. Because if she tries to hurt the place I call home again. And I am a healer, yes, but I have not always been such.
Yeah, if that day ever comes, well, I just hope we don't meet then, huh?
Hope that you'll keep her on the right path.
I think she doesn't need anybody telling her nothing right now. Doesn't need to be the paladin, no one, the exemplar, or nothing. Big hero as Sandpoint. All that pressure made her the way she was. Not hatred. She wasn't like that.
And Solenots being the sole focus of a town so small is never good. But if you claim that she was not prone to this before, that begs the question of how she found Lamash too.
Yeah. Wondering that myself. Think, pardon me, my eyesight is what it used to be. I saw Shay take a book from the room. Can't be certain, but I do know that Nunu used to keep a journal. I don't know if she kept that on her still, but reckon that's the only way she could tell us now.
Sola nods and kind of looks over her shoulder back towards the door. You will need to tell Shay that you remember everything. She is convinced that she is backed into a corner as the contract. And she does not want to admit anything to anybody to get help.
Yeah, it does sound like her, doesn't it? Look. Shay knows I got her back. That means having her back, and while she figures things out with her devil wife, well, I got her back with that too.
Yes, well, it might also be helpful to know. You know everything. Yes, after all, who better to ask about what might be a loophole in a very, very long contract than the librarian?
Yeah, she wasn't a big fan of the legal text, but we do got him. Maybe I can try to convince her to read one of them stories about wishes and contracts and all the little things that go wrong with them. Fey bargains and all.
There's just a kind of a smile on Sola's face for just a moment, or she nods. Yes, it never seems to go well at first until you find a secret somewhere. And she reaches out towards Nualia. Then there's a pause. She doesn't touch Nualia. And you can see, Sabiel, the mental gymnastics that Sola is having to go through before she finally just shakes her head.
Look, if you want a hug too,
You just get like this very deadpan look.
how come no one wants to hug today?
And she'll just finally kneel in front of the two of them, and she will make a heal check to try and at very least neutral out Nualia.
Yeah, go for it.
She's not.
You can take a 10 on this one if you want.
Well, a 10 is less than I would roll at a critical fail.
No, it's 10 it's treated as you base rolled 10.
Oh, well, I just rolled an 18, so that's 28.
Well, there we go. 28. You roll a 28, and you're able to look over Nualia, and it's not very much, but you can put some pressure on the wounds, redo some of the bandages, apply bandages, and get some stitches in. And it takes a bit, but you're pretty sure she's solid now. And just as you start finishing off the last of the stitches, she starts to move.
As soon as she moves and is like waking up, Sola's like, "Yep, nope, I healed you enough," and she is up and away and putting her shit away. And you just get, Shay, I think you want to come in here.
Did Shay get to finish one page of her book?
I don't think she did, dude. I mean, I think she got to read a bit of it, but
once Coker was gone, she swapped to Nualia's journal to read.
she got to read a bit of that, at least.
Well, she hears that and she's like, well, there's a good chance that means something bad might be happening. She hears that, she fucking closes the book, stuffs it away. Fucking picks her fucking self up and just hustles herself over. She'll be like, okay, what's going on? No one better be fucking dying. Squeezing her way past.
Downtown. Faces past. As you do that, you're there just as Nualia starts to stir, and she groans in pain, a considerable amount of pain, and her fingers kind of shakingly reach over to the wound on her shoulder, which is the one that Sola was suturing, and didn't, Z, if you're okay with it, didn't quite finish suturing.
Yeah, it's like the two ends have been sewn together, so it's like not as gaping. It's not going to like rip and wound anymore. But yeah, no, she did more than she ever planned on doing for this woman.
She groans, and her eyes flutter open, and in place of the green that you would come to see so much in the last fight, there's that pale violet color. She looks up. First thing she sees is Sabine. Sab? What are you doing? What happened to me?
Well, that's a story and a half. How are you feeling?
Like shit?
Yeah, you look it. If it helps, I look like shit too.
Yeah, what happened to you?
I had real bad running with a sword. I won. So we're clear.
She kind of frowns and tilts her head. They let goblins have swords that big?
It was a really tall goblin.
She kind of purses her lips at that. Tall goblin? The fuck is going on here?
Yeah, it's real fucked up. You don't want to see it.
As she starts trying to look around and gets her bearings on again, she looks over and she spots Shay. And Shay, your sister smiles at you. And it's the same smile that you remember seeing just before you left. Hey, Shady. You helping out too?
Imagine Shay has like one hand on like the wall or the table and she's just gripping it for fucking dear life. because it's last time she saw her sister like this, it was her dropping her off with Shalelu for some more training. And then they came back and the cathedral was burned down. And her sister was presumed dead, along with the father. And she is clutching onto that table, white knuckles. And she just nods. Yeah. Newt. Hi. It's been a while since I've seen you.
You all right, Shady? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Kind of look that one.
Aw, don't give me that just 'cause I'm so pale. She rolls her eyes.
She's gonna go over and just hug. And she's been. Tears are back.
Aw. Shay, as you hug your sister, who you haven't really seen in 10 years, she hugs you back as best she can, despite her wounds. And you feel her patting you on the back. There, there. I told you adventuring was scary, didn't I? And as the two reunite, while Nualia is still being held by Sabila, I imagine.
Yeah. We got another group hug.
Group hug
Yeah.
part 2. Let's
Sola, you're
go.
welcome. No pressure.
Session end on group hug prompt QTE event.
Did you say Sola joint? No, fuck that.
Holly, you want it?
John, I'll give you a snack.
Holly has to participate.
You get Holly. You'll get Holly.
Hey.
Yeah, Sola.
And that's where we'll end session today.
Thank you, DM.